Alrighty, I'm going to help you work out the front side of this worksheet, equations of parallel and perpendicular lines, and then you just mimic some of the same processes on the back side because the problems are very similar. So the first question is, what is the slope of line D? Line D is graphed for us, so we just need to find the slope. If you recall from the notes or from algebra, that slope is simply rise over run, and it's represented by the letter M. So let's look at our picture and find us two good points. So there's one point here at 0, 1, and there's another point here at 3, 3. So let's count from left to right our rise and our run from point to point. So to get from point to point, I have to go up 2. So since I'm going upwards, that's a positive 2. And I have to go right 3. Since I'm moving right, that's a positive 3. So I rose 2 and I ran 3. So my slope is 2 over 3. Then the next question asks for the y-intercept. If you don't remember, y-intercept is the point where the line crosses the y-axis. And the line crosses the y-axis at 1, so the y-intercept is 1, or the ordered pair 0, 1. Now on number 3, they want the equation of the line. To write the equation, you have to write it in the format of y equals mx plus b. Where m is your slope, which we found in number 1, and b is the y-intercept, which is what we found in number 2. So all we're doing is replacing m and b in the equation, leaving y and x intact. We're only replacing m and b. So m, again, was our rise over our run, which we got was 2/3. And then b was 1. So the final equation would be y equals 2 over 3 x plus 1. All right, on number 4, it wants to know what would the slope be if a line was parallel to line D. And we talked about in our notes that lines that are parallel have slopes that are the same. So the slope of the new line will also be 2 over 3. Now question 5 wants us to find the equation of the line that would be parallel and pass us through the point 9, 2. So we're going to write down our basic format, which is y equals mx plus b. We already established in number 4 that m is 2 over 3. They give us the ordered pair 9, 2 because we're going to use that to substitute x and y. So in y's position, we're going to put 2. In x's position, we'll put 9. And in m's position, we'll put 2 over 3. But you should notice we don't have anything for b's position. We're not supposed to at this point. Our job is to find out what b is going to be. So the first thing you would have to do is multiply 2/3 by 9. So let's get our handy dandy calculator, even though I don't really need it, but just to demonstrate how to multiply a fraction and a whole number on a calculator, I'll do it for you real quickly. If my calculator will cooperate. I want to move. Okay, there we go. So fractions are alpha y equals 1. If you forgot, so I need 2 over 3 times 9. And the calculator says it is 6. So now I'll have 2 is equal to 6 plus b. And then that means I would have to subtract 6 on both sides if I want b to be isolated. So I would get negative 4 equals b. Now that I know what b is, I can write my equation using my slope and the new b I just found. So the equation would be y equals, my slope is 2 over 3 x minus 4 because b is 4. Number 6 wants to know what the slope of the line would be if it was perpendicular to D. So D, again, has a slope of 2 over 3. In order to be perpendicular, it needs to be an opposite reciprocal. So the first thing I would do is find the opposite of 2/3, and that's negative 2/3. Then I would find the reciprocal of negative 2/3, and reciprocal means to flip it around. So that means it would be negative 3 over 2. So the perpendicular slope would have to be negative 3 over 2. Now number 7 wants us to find the equation of a line perpendicular to D. Again, the slope we found in 6, so that was negative 3 over 2. They give us this ordered pair to substitute for x and y. And we're going to use the equation y equals mx plus b to replace m, y, and x. So let's do that much so far. Y is 10, m is negative 3 over 2, x is negative 4, and again, the only thing that does not get a replacement is b, because our job is to find our y-intercept. So we're going to multiply negative 3 halves with negative 4. Without a calculator, that would give us a positive 12 divided by 2, which is a positive 6. Again, I'm subtracting 6 from both sides. Which would leave me with a positive 4 is equal to b. So now I can write my equation using the slope of negative 3 over 2, and b is 4, so that means y is equal to negative 3 over 2 x plus 4. All right. Number 8 says, what is the equation of the line parallel to y equals 3 over 4x plus 9 and passes through the point 8, 1? So the purpose of giving you this equation is so that you can identify the slope that is given. And the slope in this equation is 3 over 4. So that's the given slope. That's slope 1. we need to write a new equation. So we're going to need slope 2. And slope 2 will have to be parallel to slope 1. So that means it should also be 3 over 4. So that means now we're going to use the given point as x and y and substitute it into y equals mx plus b. So 8 is x, y is 1. So let's write down the equation. Y equals mx plus b. In y's position, we're going to put 1. In m's position, 3 over 4. In x's position, we're going to put 8. Again, we have to find b, our y-intercept. So without a calculator, 3 over 4 times 8 would give us 24 divided by 4, which is 6. It happens that they're all 6. That is an interesting coincidence. So again, I'm going to subtract 6 on both sides, which would give me negative 5 is equal to b. So now I can write the equation. And the equation would read y equals 3 over 4x minus 5. Number 9, what is the equation of the line perpendicular to y equals 2 over 5x plus 9 that passes through the point 4, 7? So again, they give us the equation just so that we can identify the first slope. So slope 1 is 2 over 5. Our job is to find the slope perpendicular to this one, and that'll be slope 2. So again, slope 2 has to be an opposite reciprocal. So that means change the sign, so from positive to negative, and flip it. So the slope 2 would be negative 5 over 2. So using slope 2 and the provided point 4, 7, we're going to find b. This is x, this is y, so let's substitute it in. X, y is 7, m is negative 5 over 2, x is 4, and again we're looking for b. So without a calculator, that would give us negative 20 divided by 2, which is negative 10. So that's 7 equals negative 10 plus b. So I would add 10 to both sides, which would mean 17 is equal to b. And now I can write the equation. So y equals negative 5 over 2x plus 17. Now number 10 and 11 are multiple choice, which should make it somewhat easier for you. Number 10 says, what is the equation of the line parallel to y equals negative 2x plus 5 and passes through the point negative 3, 7? So again, the given equation is just so that you can identify slope 1, and slope 1 is negative 2. With slope 1, we can now figure out what slope 2 will be. And slope 2 has to be parallel, so that means slope 2 will also be negative 2. Just knowing that, I can eliminate F and G because they don't have the slope we're looking for. And now I can use the provided point and substitute in to see which answer choice will be the correct one. So x is negative 3 and y is 7. So if I take answer choice H, I would have 7 is equal to negative 2 times negative 3 plus 7. So let's see if it balances out. So that would be 7 equals positive 6 plus 7. So that means 7 equals 13. That's false. So that means it's not H. So that automatically means it is J. But again, to prove why it is J, show your work by substituting in the X and Y values. So again, Y is still 7 and X is still negative 3. So negative 2 times negative 3 plus 1. So that would be 7 is equal to negative 2 times negative 3 gives me a positive 6. And 6 plus 1 is 7. So yes, that's why it's true. That's why it is J. So now we're going to use a similar process on number 11. They give us an equation just so that we can identify slope 1. So slope 1 is negative 3. And slope 2 has to be perpendicular. So again, perpendicular means opposite reciprocal. So if it's negative 3, opposite would be positive 3. The reciprocal would be 3 over or 1 over 3. So M2 would be 1 over 3. So knowing that, I can eliminate choice A and choice C because they don't have the slope we're looking for. And now I'm going to use the point 12, negative 2 as X and Y to see which one is correct. So I would say negative 2 is equal to 1 over 3 times X, which is 12, minus 6. Without a calculator, that would be 12 divided by 3, which is 4, minus 6. And negative 2 is equal to negative 2. That is true. So that's why B is our answer. Again, I worked through the whole front side with you. Just mimic the same processes on the back side to complete the assignment.